The abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town had always been a topic of fascination. Its dilapidated structure and eerie silence held stories untold, secrets buried deep within its walls. No one dared to enter, for it was said to be haunted by a spirit long forgotten. One chilly autumn night, 4 friends Emma, Jack, Sarah, and Mickey decided to challenge the rumors. Armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, they made their way to the mansion, laughing nervously to mask their fear. The front door creaked open, revealing a grand but decaying interior. Dust motes danced in the beam of their flashlights, and the air was thick with the scent of mold and age. "Let's split up and explore," Jack suggested, a mischievous grin on his face. "We'll cover more ground that way." Reluctantly, the others agreed. Emma and Mike headed upstairs, while Jack and Sarah ventured into the sprawling ground floor. As Emma and Mike ascended the creaky staircase, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Every step seemed to echo with unseen eyes following their movements. In one of the upstairs bedrooms, Emma found an old, ornate mirror. The glass was tarnished, but she could make out a reflection. She leaned in closer, wiping away the grime. Suddenly, a cold hand grasped her shoulder. She gasped, spinning around, but there was no one there. "Mike, did you?" she started, but he was at the other end of the room, oblivious to her fright. She shook her head, blaming her nerves. Downstairs, Jack and Sarah explored the grand dining hall. A long, dust-covered table stretched before them, surrounded by high-backed chairs. Jack's flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows as Sarah ran her fingers over the table. She felt a sudden chill. The room seemed to grow colder, and a faint whispering filled the air. "Do you hear that?" Sarah whispered, her eyes white with fear. Jack nodded, his bravado fading. The whispers grew louder, incomprehensible yet filled with a desperate sadness. It was as if the very walls were weeping. Emma and Mike joined them shortly after, both looking shaken. "Something's not right here," Emma said, her voice trembling. "I felt something." Before they could discuss further, the front door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The lights from their flashlights flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. Panic set in as they fumbled to turn them back on. When the lights came back, they revealed a figure standing in the doorway. It was a woman, her appearance ghostly pale, with hollow eyes and tattered clothes. Her gaze was fixed on them, filled with a sorrow that chilled them to the bone. "Why have you come?" The spirit's voice echoed through the room, a mixture of anguish and anger. "I have been forgotten for so long, left to wither away in this forsaken place." The friends were paralyzed with fear, unable to speak. The spirit moved closer, her form flickering like a dying flame. "I was once revered, remembered, but now I am nothing. You must remember me." Desperation filled the air, and with it, a violent wind swept through the mansion. The walls groaned, and the floorboards creaked as if the house itself was alive. The friends clung to each other, trying to shield themselves from the malevolent force. "Say my name," the spirit demanded, her voice rising to a fever pitch. "Remember me." But they didn't know her name. No one did. The spirit's fury intensified, and she began to wail, a heart-wrenching cry that pierced their souls. The mansion seemed to pulse with her anger, shaking violently. Just when they thought they would be consumed by the spirit's rage, Emma had an idea. She pulled out her phone and started recording. "We're here in the old mansion," she began, her voice shaking. "There's a spirit here, a woman who was forgotten. We don't know her name, but we will remember her. We will tell her story." The spirit's wailing stopped abruptly. The wind died down, and the mansion grew still. The ghostly woman looked at Emma, her hollow eyes filling with tears. "Thank you," she whispered, her form beginning to fade. "Remember me." With those final words, the spirit vanished, leaving the friends standing in the eerie silence of the old mansion. They stumbled out into the night, their hearts pounding, vowing never to forget the forgotten spirit. From that day on, they shared the story of the haunted mansion and the spirit who longed to be remembered, and though they never learned her name, they ensured her tale was never forgotten.